What's up, guys? Starco here with Abstract Damon, bringing you a different kind of video today. This one's actually going to be filled with spoilers, so for all you who don't quite understand, this is a spoiler-free, free video. 101% spoilers in this video. What's up, guys? Starco here with Abstract Damon, bringing you episode 2 of the I guess it's a reaction series. So this is going to be the episode after the season 6 mid-season premiere of The Walking Dead. So it starts out, apparently some time has passed, at least a few weeks, and it shows a picture of Carl with his eye missing and holding Judith in a black and white picture, and he seems to be adjusting all right with it. Starts out Michonne, Rick, Judith, and Carl are all in the same house, and they are out of toothpaste. So they are talking about making a run for some supplies, food, toothpaste, soft drinks, whatever they need, because they apparently seem to be low on supplies. Then it goes, Daryl's walking down the highway, and the doctor sends him after a special request, a soda. This part confuses me. She calls it a pop, which I call it a pop, and obviously I'm Southern, and apparently she's from Ohio, but Daryl doesn't know what a pop is. I was under the assumption that Daryl was also, kind of country folk, I guess you would say, so it kind of confused me that he didn't know what pop was. So they got a list of stuff they're going to go get, and then it shows Rick and Daryl driving, and Eugene tells them of a few places they can go check out, normal supply run stuff, and it seems like he's actually coming and helping the group more than he usually does, for their benefit, not just his, which I guess he would benefit them from getting food and medicine and stuff. And then it shows Michonne on top of this wall, and she sees a guy in a blue shirt, which turns out to be Spencer, Deanna's son, the old mayor's son, walking into the woods, and she decides to follow him. And then it goes to, what's her name? The young girl who runs away from everything. She's like outdrawn by herself, and Maddie comes and talks to her, and you can tell they kind of have a bond, or starting a bond, to where she helped Glenn and then saved Maddie's life when she was stood on top of the wall. But you can tell Maddie is kind of becoming, I'm assuming it didn't really say that, she's becoming the new mayor, because before the mayor died, she worked with her, which is pretty cool. Maddie does kind of seem like somebody that would replace her, a good choice for it. And you really don't see Glenn or nobody in this, or Glenn, you don't see Carl, or what's the black guy's name? Morgan? You don't see him in this episode, and a lot of the townspeople. But yeah, Daryl and Rick are going on a hunt, and they come up on this truck, and in the back of the truck is all kinds of supplies, food, I'm assuming toothpaste, pop, everything. And they come up on, they take it, they leave the car there, and they go to this gas station. They're planning on driving the truck back, and they find a soda machine, soda slash, chips, candy, whatever you want to call that, snack machine. And they try to roll it over, but it's too heavy, so they end up putting the truck to it and rolling it over. But when they get out to bust into it, they bump into somebody. Now, I forgot what his name was. Give me 1 second and I will look it up. It was new Walking Dead character. His name was... What was your name, fellow? Paul Rovia. I hope I'm saying that right. Paul Rovia is his name, and he bumped into Rick, and, it's no big deal, and they think he's evil for a second, which he was acting suspicious. He had his face covered up, and They decide, he doesn't seem to be a bad person. He warned them of some waters that was going to be there in a few minutes. And then he runs away, and they start hearing gunshots. Before he goes, Rick actually tries to interview him for their town. He asks him how many waters you kill, but the guy didn't seem to be interested. But then they hear gunshots going off, and they both go to, see what it was, and it actually turns out to be fireworks. So when that guy bumped into Rick, he, he stole the keys to the truck, so he ends up, stealing the truck. This episode here, I found it to be actually humorous just from this Paul Rovia guy alone, because Rick and Daryl end up chasing after him, and when they finally catch up to him, he's changing a tire on the truck, and they try to capture him. They sneak up on him, and he actually seems like he might know some kung fu. So he actually gets away from them. They end up double teaming him and tying him up and stealing their truck back. But it turns out when they get so far down, like down the road, they find a farm. They pull into it, and he's on the roof. Like this guy, like I don't know what's up with him. He seems to know kung fu, and he must be really quick because he was able to get on top of this truck before they took off. Or they must have been driving so slow that he was able to climb on top of the truck. So they have another little spat with him. They fight, or Rick is trying to chase him down in the truck. Daryl's running beside the truck trying to chase him. But then Rick gets out of the truck. And then Paul jumps into the truck. And I was like, please tell me Rick didn't leave the keys. This time he didn't leave the keys. But him and Daryl are fighting inside the truck to where they knock it out of gear and it rolls backwards into the lake. Now, this part kind of made me mad. They could have stayed in the truck, hit the brakes, slammed on emergency brakes, whatever kind of help you need. But instead, they jump out. When they jump out, Paul gets run over by the truck. It knocks him out. And the truck goes backwards into the lake. And they lose all that supplies. Like, really, guys, you could have just stayed in and stopped the entire thing. But they just watched it roll backwards into the water. So they decide to go find a new car and just leave the stuff in the water. They're not going to try to fish it out as of right now, from what I can tell. Even though I wouldn't know how much good the supplies would be wet. But I'm sure you could use toothpaste and stuff. And then it shows Michonne, chasing down Spencer. We really didn't chase him down. Came up on Spencer, and he was talking to her. And you could tell he had some kind of motive, been out in the woods. He had a shovel and a rifle on his back. And, she asked him what he was doing, but he didn't want to say. And it actually turns out he's looking for his mom, like her zombie form. So he's not going to leave until he finds her and puts her down, because apparently he had seen her walking in the woods so many weeks or days ago. And as they're walking, Carl and the young girl, whose name seems I always forget somebody's name per episode, they're walking in the woods, and they're outside chilling, because apparently that's what kids do. And, Carl, he's emotional train wreck. I don't want to be a kid. I guess we got to be a kid. And they're outside just reading comic books, and they walked upon a piece of paper, and it was apparently a note, but it had been rained on, so you couldn't read the words. And so she ends up keeping it. I'm assuming that might come to play a part later on or something. As of right now, it doesn't seem to be anything. But they see a zombie, so they end up walking away. But it turns out they walked upon Deanna's zombie. And the girl is like, we should kill it. And Carl's been like, no, go home. You don't want to be here, just leave. And, like Carl, like I said, the emotional train wreck. But, he was all right in this episode. I guess he lost his bad eye, the one that kept him from being a cool person. He lost that eye, and he's probably going to grow into a much better character, hopefully. Maybe a pirate. That'd be pretty sweet. Maybe he'll lose a leg soon, like Herschel, and be like a pirate. That'd be amazing. And, okay, what was I talking about? Oh, Carl didn't want to kill Deanna zombie he ends up leading her to Spencer and allows him to kill him. And what that does, that kind of helps Spencer pass that point in his life to where Alexandria was just tied to his blood family, but now it's starting to grow into these friends and stuff that he's starting to make and becoming part of a new family. And so Rick and Daryl get back. It's past dark. And Carl and I forgot the baby's name now. Carl and baby Kike, as Daryl calls it, are already in bed, and it's just Michonne and Rick up at night, and they're talking about their days, or lack of talk about their day, because, you know, they had so much go on they didn't want to talk about it. But they're just sitting on the couch, and Rick hands Michonne some lifesavers, I guess, certs, just something to make her breath smell better since he couldn't find no toothpaste. And they start laughing, and he reaches and hands her the lifesavers, so I'm going to call them. And, you know, they have kind of an intimate moment, and they start kissing, and I'm assuming it's going to progress further than kissing. But you could kind of tell that's what they was pushing. I kind of thought it would happen by now, since she kind of was taking a motherly part on Carl's life. And also, Carl and her had a little scene before Rick got there of Carl explaining why he didn't kill Deanna. He wanted a family member to kill her, and he said he would kill Michonne if she had ever become a zombie, assuming that's like him building up that she is part of his family now. And it was a pretty sweet moment. Then it shows Rick and Michonne laying in the bed after they do the deed, and they're both asleep, and all of a sudden you hear, "Hey, Rick, wake up." And they both jump up and grab their weapons, and Paul Rovia is standing in front of him. He's like, "We need to talk." And that's how the episode ends, guys. It was crazy. I actually didn't see that part until my brother was telling me about it, and I had to go back and rewatch it. But yeah, guys, it was a good episode. Like I said, very funny. Go check it out. Once again, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. All likes and comments really help. It lets me know what you guys like to see. All the feedback is very much appreciated. Once again, guys, God bless, and I'll see you later.